Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome AMD President and CEO, Dr. Lisa Su.
Welcome, welcome. How are you guys all doing? All right, welcome to our next Ryzen gaming event. This is like a phenomenal crowd. It's so good to see you all here today in the theater at E3. Are you guys having fun? Okay, and thank you to all the gamers who are joining us on the live stream around the world. We have an incredible show for you today. You know, E3 is an amazing place, and every year, millions of gamers look forward to seeing new games and new gaming technology. And so we are just super excited to be here today with you to unveil some of our newest and most important gaming technologies and partnerships. And we have a lot in store for you today. We will be joined by the one and only Jeff Keighley, so let's give him a big round of applause. And we also have some amazing partners. You're going to see some amazing stuff this afternoon. So let's go ahead and get started. Are you ready? Okay, so look, as we just saw in the video, today is all about the question, what's next? Our goal at AMD is to push the envelope on technology, and the entire team is always asking, what's next? So whether it's what's next in PCs, or what's next in consoles, or what's next in the cloud, we're going to show you some really exciting stuff that just answers that question of what's next. So you've heard me say how much AMD loves gamers. Have you heard me say that? Yeah. So we love you, and our goal is to give you exactly what you want. And, you know, the fact is, you're the smartest and most demanding tech guys in the world. Is that true? So you expect the best of everything. The highest possible frame rates, the best quality, the most incredibly responsive and immersive experiences. And most importantly, these days, you want to be able to play and share and experience across every platform. And to deliver that incredible gaming experience, you actually need two things. You first need incredible breakthrough hardware. And in addition to that, you also need breakthrough games. And you need these two to really be optimized together to create that next level of gaming performance. And frankly, you know, sometimes the hardware gets a little ahead, and sometimes the software gets a little bit ahead, but it hasn't always been in sync across platforms when you play across PCs or consoles or the cloud. However, starting now, we're going to change that. We have the opportunity together with our partners to bring the best technology has to offer to gaming across hardware, software, and platforms. And that is our vision for gaming. Do you like that? Yeah. So look, it's an incredibly exciting time for gamers everywhere. Just take a look across all of the most exciting platforms. When we think about gaming, graphics is at the heart of gaming, and AMD Radeon is truly everywhere. Just look at every category of the market, whether you're talking about PCs, or you're talking about notebooks, or desktops, or Macs, or game consoles, or the cloud, or now even mobile, with our new partnership between AMD and Samsung to power future mobile devices. We are making Radeon the most widespread graphics engine in gaming. And now, at AMD, I've told you we're all about pushing the envelope. And to create the best technology, you frankly have to make very big bets. And sometimes you have to make those bets 3 to 5 years out. And this year in 2019, what you're seeing is the results of some of those big bets that we actually made 3 to 5 years ago. So look, we bet on 7-nanometer process technology for faster and more efficient silicon. We bet on these new engines, and these engines are incredible. Our new Zen 2 CPU core and our new RDNA graphics architecture. And frankly, we put these things together in a really smart way with chiplet technologies that give you great capability and flexibility. And so, just to give you a few examples of this technology in action, how many of you are PlayStation fans? So, last month, Sony announced that the next-gen PlayStation would be built around AMD's new gaming architectures. And we've been working collaboratively with Sony over the last few years to build a custom chip based on the Zen 2 and the next-gen Radeon architectures. And we are incredibly excited to partner with Sony to enable their vision of the next-generation console. Now, you also heard recently that Google announced at this year's Game Developers Conference Stadia, its new cloud streaming service. And this is also powered by AMD Radeon GPUs. And you just heard a few days ago that Stadia will actually be available in November. And we look forward to seeing what that launch is going to be. It's very exciting. Now let me ask, since we are at E3, how many of you caught the Xbox event yesterday? All right. Totally action-packed, but what you heard from Phil Spencer and the Microsoft team is they announced the next amazing chapter in our partnership, the next generation Xbox, codenamed Project Scarlet. Now, Project Scarlet is powered by a custom processor co-engineered between our team and the Microsoft team with one goal in mind, to deliver the ultimate gaming experience. And it uses our Zen 2 CPU core and our next generation Radeon RDNA gaming graphics architecture. And we're absolutely thrilled to partner with the Xbox team to enable their vision for the future of gaming. So that's a lot of platforms to be excited about. We're really excited about them. But as excited as we are about those platforms, AMD loves the PC platform. So look, for all of you who love PCs and love building your own gaming rigs and love the best of technology, today is for you. We're introducing today what I would call the ultimate gaming platform. And we're the only company in the world that can really bring you the best in both CPUs and GPUs. And it's frankly an incredibly exciting time for us as well as the industry, because we're introducing the brand new 3rd-gen Ryzen desktop processors. And the brand new Radeon RX 5700 series graphics cards. Woo! All right, let's go ahead and get started with Ryzen, please. Are you guys excited about 3rd-gen Ryzen? Yeah! Okay, I have to say, the anticipation around 3rd-gen Ryzen is really impressive, okay? You guys are amazing. I mean, we were pretty excited at the 1st-gen Ryzen launch, right? Weren't those great products? Yeah. And we actually love the 2nd-generation Ryzen just as much. But when I read the comments from you guys and the anticipation on Reddit or Twitter or across the forums about 3rd-generation Ryzen, It's truly spectacular to see the excitement in the community. So our goal is very, very simple. Our goal is to give you the best CPU for every gamer. And it all starts with the CPU core, the engine. So we are so proud of Zen 2. Zen 2, our architects just did an amazing job. It is just incredible engineering. And when you just take a look at the specs, I'll just give you a couple. 15% instructions per clock uplift. Double the cache size for lower memory latency for faster gaming. And double the floating point, which is really great for creative workloads. And if you think that we're really proud of the Zen 2 engine, when we bring this over to the product side, it's fantastic. Just take a look at this stack. So we are extremely excited about our third generation Ryzen 7 and Ryzen 9 stack. And if you think about it, Ryzen 7 processors, 8 cores, 16 threads. We have the new flagship Ryzen 9 3900X, which is the first 12-core processor for mainstream gamers. And what you really see here is leadership across the board at every single price point. That was our goal. So let me just show you a little bit of the numbers, okay? Let's just start at the top of the stack and see how 3900X stacks up against the competition. All right, what we're comparing now is the 3900X against the competition's Core i9 9920X, which, by the way, is a $1,200 processor. And this is 12-core to 12-core comparison. And what you see is that the 3900X wins by 14% in single-threaded performance. We also win in multi-threaded performance, and all of this is at 105 watts. So think about it, more performance, less power, and by the way, it's less than half the price. Now, I know some of you have also been wondering, just how does the 3900X perform in games, right? So let me show you. Let me show you first some data. And here we compare the 3900X, again, now versus the 9900K, okay? And this is across some of the top AAA gaming titles. This is in 1080p, so that we can really stress the CPU. And what you just see is incredible performance for these titles. Very high frame rates, essentially maximum gaming performance, where the CPU's job is to get out of the way of the GPU. And is that great or what? Now look, numbers are nice, but gameplay is much better, isn't it? So let's actually see a real-world use case for the 3900X, not just for gaming. We're going to show you gaming, but we're going to show you what you can really do when you take the 3900X for a spin. And for that, let me invite Robert to the stage.
Hey, Lisa.
Robert, nice shoes.
Thank you, Radeon Red. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 1080p is a wonderful resolution, and lots of people choose it. But if you're a nerd like me, I have an ultra-wide 120 hertz monitor on my desk. 1440p is where I play. I hear some cheers down there. Right on, right on. All right, so 1440p is a big deal because we want to drive more pixels, drive higher frame rates. So let's take a look at Tom Clancy's Division 2, running at 1440p. Just hit World Tier 5 myself, gear score 503. If anybody else plays, hit me up, right? And what you see is a very comparable gaming experience. But what you really see is the Ryzen 9 3900X, this beautiful, monstrously powerful 12-core CPU, delivering an incredible gaming experience. 12-core gaming chip that's uncommonly powerful. But it's deeper than that. Gamers, like myself, they do more than just play these games. So what if we played this game and streamed it to YouTube at 10,000 kilobits using the slow OBS preset, which is just a quality preset that's so far above what most processors can do? What would that look like? Let's take a look at the stream view. This is what a viewer would see if we streamed this game on both of these processors. Yes, we did start the stream for the other guy, right? Right? That is the magic of a 12-core processor for gaming. You can do things that you couldn't do before. The other guy with 8 cores, sorry. All right, so let's take a look at the data. I want to show you by the numbers what you just saw. And both processors, same frame rates, but a real gaming experience from us and a smooth streaming experience for the viewer. That's how it should be.
Fantastic.
Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you, Robert. OK, so for anyone who's wondering why you need a 12-core processor for gaming, do you believe it now? Look, we are just taking gaming and streaming to the next level. This is what we want to do. And now let's take a look at the Ryzen 7 3800X in action. You know, my point earlier was that at every price point, we're giving gamers something special. And this time, we're comparing the 3800X against the 9700K across the same titles in 1080p. And what do you see? Again, you see just fantastic frame rates, well over 200 frames per second in most games at 1080p. And of course, you know that we have double the threads, and so the 3800X just outperforms and really shines in creative workloads. So that's the Ryzen 7 stack, my friends. But look, I said I have something for everyone. So now let's turn to the Ryzen 5 stack. And frankly, there are a lot of PC users who might have a budget of, let's call it $200 to $250. And the idea is to get the best processor you can get. And for that, the Ryzen 5 family is just a perfect fit. So these guys are 6 cores, 12 threads, Ryzen 5 3600 and 3600X. They have all the benefits of the new tech. So you got the Zen 2 core, you got the new infrastructure, and again, let me show you how these guys game, because they really game very, very well. Take a look versus a competition. This time it's versus the 9600K. And when you look, again, across all of these gaming metrics, the performance is frankly spectacular. It still has double the threads for creative applications, so you can do a lot with this guy. But as I said, we're all about showing you our products in action. So let's bring Robert back and let us show you Ryzen 5 for the first time. Robert?
All right. Yeah. OK. I love talking about 12-core processors. I'm going to get a 12-core processor. But it's also true that most customers buy a $250 CPU. That's what people can afford. And so our job is to give you the best freaking processor you can get for $250. So I want to show you 1440p again, running CSGO. This is a very CPU-sensitive title that requires hundreds of frames per second. And we're going to show you side by side our $250 CPU with 6 cores and 12 threads versus theirs. And again, you see a very comparable gaming experience, upwards of 300 frames a second. And any CSGO player will tell you that every frame counts, because if you're trying to 360 no-scope someone, every frame matters. So for $250, 6 cores, 12 threads, you're getting an amazing gaming experience for a really nice price. And that, again, for any customer, is how it should be.
Fantastic.
Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you, Robert. All right, so that was really great. Now, there you have the entire 3rd generation Ryzen stack. And this is leadership everywhere. From 6 cores to 8 cores to 12 cores, leadership at every price point. And so there is a Ryzen for every one of you enthusiast gamers. And all of these are on shelf July 7th, 7/7 globally. All right, so look, I know you guys are incredibly excited about Ryzen, but you know, it's time to go to the other half of the ultimate game platform. And now it's time to talk about NAVI, our next generation GPU. Are you guys excited about NAVI? All right. So look, NAVI is now called our affectionate Radeon 5700 series. And this GPU is designed brand new from the grounds up for gaming. And like we did with the CPU side with Zen, it was really, our vision to take a fresh look at the GPU architecture. The RX 5700 really starts with our brand new Radeon DNA, or RDNA architecture. And this architecture was, again, designed from the grounds up, completely for gaming. And you might ask, what did we focus on? We focused on architecture, we focused on design improvements, we focused on delivering more gaming performance with faster clock speeds and more performance per clock. And all of this at lower power. Also with PCI Gen 4 as the world's first gaming GPU. So let me share some of the motivation of our engineers around RDNA. Look, we've had incredible success with the GCN architecture around Vega. And do you guys love Vega? Yeah. And it's done really, really well in the market. But frankly, we thought it was time to build a brand new architecture for gaming like we did on the CPU side. And our thought process was really, for the future of gaming, we need a flexible and scalable architecture to go across every gaming platform. And that means we have all new stuff. We have a new compute unit design, we have new caches, we have a streamlined graphics pipeline. But what that means to you from a gaming standpoint is that we are seeing a 25% increase in graphics performance per clock cycle and a 50% increase in performance per watt with RDNA. So are you excited about RDNA? Yeah. Now, we love architectures, but we love products even more. So it's really exciting when you see the product in action. Let's take a look. E3, meet the Radeon RX 5700 XT. Is that gorgeous or what? All right, look, we are so proud of the 5700 XT, and all of you are going to fall in love with it as well when you hear all about the incredible engineering, both inside and out, on the GPU. Now, what can I tell you? The 5700 XT is delivering leadership performance in its class. So there's so much for us to tell you. Let me invite Scott Herkelman, our head of the Radeon gaming business, to come take it away. Scott?
Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
Thank you. All right. Hello, Los Angeles. Hello, gamers. Hello, welcome to E3. I'm so excited for you to all be here. We have been working on this GPU for quite a long time, and it is a pleasure to finally unveil it to you. I've been reading all the Reddit, Twitter threads. I watch all the streamers who talk about GPUs all the time, and there's always these rumors. But it's more fun to just show you the product itself. So let's go ahead and get started on the specs. 40 compute units, up to 9.75 teraflops, 8 gigabytes of GDDR6, a boost clock of 1905, and a game clock of 1755. Now, game clock is a new terminology, and that's what you're going to average see in a game on our game clock when you're playing most games. So it's a new one for you, and we'll talk to you a little bit more about that after the show. And then a 1605 base clock. But that's not, we didn't just stop there. Of course, it all includes the new RDNA architecture. Of course, it's on the 7-nanometer process. And of course, is the first GPU, gaming GPU in the world, to support PCI Express 4.0. So now let's take a look a little bit under the hood. we've spent a lot of time and effort to redesign our thermal shroud for you. And the redesign of that application was for a few reasons. We want it to be cool and quiet. We also want to give you the ability to overclock this GPU to its full potential. So this includes a power supply support connectors of 1x8 pin and then a 1x6 pin for your power supplies. And then my favorite part of the thermal shroud, besides the design, is the 7-phase digital power system, ready for most of you like me who are really looking forward to overclocking this GPU to its full potential. What do you think about that? Now, that's all great, but I know every gamer in here and every gamer on the stream watching is like, yeah, but show me the performance. Fine, I will. Let's do it. Okay, let's go ahead and start the demo. This next demo is a game called World War Z. It's one of my favorite games that just came out in April. And if you haven't played this game, over 2 million gamers bought and played this game across the world. Fantastic amount of people for Saber Interactive to get into the game. Thousands of zombies run at you. You can stand behind a Gatling gun and mow them down. So if you haven't played it, you should definitely try it. But on the, what you can see here on the right is the 5700 XT running in 1440p against the RTX 2070, the same product in its class. And an amazing result, 117 frames per second versus our competitors' 102 frames per second. What do you think about that? Now, just in order of transparency, this is best. So a lot of you know that gamers sometimes play on DirectX 11, sometimes gamers play with DirectX 12 enabled, sometimes gamers play with Vulkan. We've just taken the best score from each of the GPU manufacturers and we said, put the best versus the best. So that way there's no trickery, and you can see that in its class, in the $499 class, the RX 5700 XT beats the competition and beats it consistently. Now, for our second announcement today is a brand new product called the Radeon RX 5700. It's got 36 compute units, up to 7.9 teraflops, also 8 gigabytes of GDDR6, a boost clock up to 1725, and a game clock of 1625. And now what you'll want to see next is where will this one be positioned? How does it compete against our competitor in a popular game? In this space, we know a lot of you play esports. So what I would like to show you next, and let's go ahead and roll the demo, is the Radeon RX 5700 against the nearest competitor, the GeForce RTX 2060. This is actually Apex Legends, playing at 1440p. And one of the most heaviest things you can do in Apex Legends is throw thermite grenades. And that's probably one of somebody's friends just really taking a whole bunch of thermite grenades right at their feet and burning them. But the ending result of the 5700 against the 2060 is 88 frames per second versus 72 in esports. What do you think? Very good. So now let's take a look at the data. Again, fast, no matter the API. Their fastest versus our fastest, nothing to see here, but what you can, nothing trickery to see here for the gamers on this, and watching on the stream or in the audience. But what you can see here is that up to 10% faster than the RTX 2060 in the top 10 games that have launched in the last year. Truly leading performance in its class. Now, gaming performance is amazing, and I had to get that in front of you quickly because I wanted to get you excited about how much we put in just in terms of raw performance. All that comes from our new gaming architecture. All of that is a standard with our new RDNA architectures and all the features that we put into the process of making the chip. And of course, there's some other things I'd like to talk to you about, like game fidelity and gaming dynamics, some new features and feature sets that over the next few months, as you start to see this product in market, you'll see this adopted by our game developers that we will have on stage in a little bit to talk to you about. So let's go ahead and dive into the NAVI GPU family features. So RDNA, Lisa mentioned this a little bit ago, is our brand new grounds-up architecture built for the NAVI GPU family, and the first products in that family are the 5700 series. Comes standard on the 7-nanometer process, support for GDDR6, and again, first in the family of GPUs for gaming to support PCI Express 4.0. And then we also have two new features that we're launching with the NAVI family, which is the Radeon Media Engine for 4K encode, 4K decode, and also FreeSync HDR support. and then the Radeon Display Engine. So that will support DisplayPort 1.4 with this display stream compression, as well as a whole bunch of other features and cabling systems. So that way, as you look towards buying new monitors, you can use the Navi family of GPUs to get the best refresh rates, the highest resolutions, and of course, increased bandwidth to any virtual reality headset. So that's the Navi GPU family features. So, like many of you in here, you know that AAA gaming is the golden standard of any GPU. You care about high fidelity. How does the game look and feel when you're in there? High resolution. Can I play this at 1440p? Can I play it at 4K? And of course, all of those things combined with a fluid 60 frames per second gaming ultimately matters to how you actually feel in that game. So let's talk about one of the first new features that we're going to introduce today here at E3. So the very first feature is Fidelity FX. It is our game developer toolkit that we provide on GPU Open. It's a website that we manage and run. So that way game developers, a lot of them here at E3, can go to this website and download Fidelity FX and use all of the post-processing effects that make AAA games look great in game, and they can start integrating that into not only their engines, but also the games that they're building. So we are announcing that today. We're here with all the fantastic game developers, and we even have a few on the stage coming up in a little bit that'll talk to you more about this. But I wanted to do a quick thing first. You'll want to hear more from them about it, but let me just show you what some of these effects look like on screen. So as you can see here, this is a racing game, and we have Fidelity FX off and on, and it's just a subtle way to show you that if you've ever played a lot of driving games, you do know and you want to see that street below you. Where are you out in the corner? How far are you away from the corner? How fast do you feel like you're moving? And so the Fidelity FX provides that little bit of extra detail in low contrast areas where normally it might seem a little blurry. We add that little crispness and sharpness so you feel like you're more connected in the game, and it's a very easy thing for us to do with this new RDNA architecture because we have more performance for the game, and we're able to not only increase the sharpness, but also implement it while keeping your frames per second high. So this is a before and after of Fidelity FX off and on. Now let me show you a game that I'm sure a lot of you are anticipating, like I am, at the back half of this year, Borderlands 3. So Fidelity FX will also be integrated into Borderlands 3. And what we're showing here is a little bit before and after. So you can see in that yellow box, if you can't see it right now, there's actually little hexagons in there, and honeycombs, if you will. And if you turn Fidelity FX on, you'll see that it becomes a little sharper for you. And that's just going to add a next level of detail in the game, virtually for no performance hit at all. It's something that as game developers adopt this inside their game, it's just going to add that really nice touch for your gameplay. So let's take a look at it side by side. It pops off on the screen a little bit more for you. And we're super excited about this technology. We have a lot of game developers signed up to not only implement this, but they agree with us. The agreement is you shouldn't launch a new feature in a game that hurts a gamer's performance and then do trickery to increase the resolution and make it blurry. Our commitment to you is always launch features with less of a performance hit and everyone can enjoy day one. What do you think about that? Now, if there's a game that doesn't or has yet to adopt Fidelity FX, we have a solution for you as well. It's called AMD Radeon Image Sharpening. Superior quality, no performance hit. This will be available the day the product is available in the market through our Radeon Software Adrenaline Edition. You can download it and enable it. It's going to give you pretty much the similar feature sets that Fidelity FX will, and you'll see that same sort of nice crispness in games. And as I mentioned, we have data for you. Our promise and commitment to you is that when we introduce new features that increase the quality of your in-game play, virtually no performance hit versus our competition. What do you think about that? Very good. Now, esports. A lot of you in here are probably like me. You play AAA games, but you also play esports games. We care about responsiveness. How fast between you and what you're seeing on screen can your character move and respond? Frames per second matters. You also care about streaming from your GPU to either YouTube or Twitch. Let your friends or fans watch what you're doing. And of course, a fluid 90 frames per second of gameplay or more. We have a new feature and many new features in our software package that we're rolling out. But today, I would like to zero in on one that I think every Radeon gamer is going to enjoy right away. And this is called Radeon Anti-Lag. Let me talk to you about this feature. So if you love esports and you love beating your friends at esports, you now will have a chance to beat the GeForce GPU owners at esports. So let me talk to you about that. This is essentially a new feature. As we all know, lag to a server when you're playing an esports game is one of the most frustrating things. And so we took a look at that and said, how can we improve the lag between the GPU and the monitor? And one way to do that is to take a look at how we deliver the software from the GPU to the monitor and see if we can mitigate some of that lag. This is the feature to do that for you. And what I'd like to do is bring Robert back up on the stage, explain a little bit about the demo and the feature and why esports gamers are going to love it. Robert?
Scott, how you doing?
Good.
Good. Okay. So gamers all the time, they talk about getting higher frames per second because that reduces input lag, or the time between clicking a mouse or pressing a button and that showing up on the screen. There's a name for that. It's called motion to photon latency. Click a button, straight into your eyeballs. At 60 frames a second, that's about 4 frames worth of lag. 4 frames, that's a lot. So let's show 2 systems with the Radeon RX 5700 XT versus the RTX 2070, both running at around 60 frames a second. And in green, you can see that motion to photon latency. It's about 57 milliseconds from the time you press the button on your mouse or your keyboard to the time it comes out of the monitor into your eyes. Driving frame rates higher, that brings that number down. But what if there were a way to decouple the frame rate from the input lag? You could make that input lag lower even at the same frame rate. So what we're going to do is we're going to enable Radeon anti-lag, and you'll see that on the RX 5700 XT. You're going to drop to about 44 milliseconds of input lag, which is a full frame and a half of improvement over what you would have without this feature. So if you're looking for that competitive advantage in Dota, League, CSGO, where every frame matters, this technology can do it for you.
Very good. Thanks, Robert. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot. I highly suggest when you buy a 5700, you just turn it on, you don't tell your friends, and see what they say. So let me just show you some data, before and after. So these are across the most popular esports games using our brand new RX 5700 XT, both on and off. And you can see on average, you save about 31% of latency and the click to response on the screen, which is fantastic. And in the very popular game Fortnite, it can be up to 35%. So if you want an advantage against your friends who have Radeon GPUs or the competition, just don't tell them you turned it on, and then watch yourself climb to the top of the leaderboard. Okay, so the real reason why all of you are watching here is how much is this going to cost you? I think that's the question, right? Yeah. Good. Okay. Leadership performance in its class in the $499 segment. The Radeon RX 5700 XT will be available for $449. Leadership performance in the $399 segment, the Radeon RX 5700 will be available for $379. I am super excited about this. I'm super excited to bring you the best performance per dollar in the industry and without hurting your frame rates with new features and technology. I think that's what you deserve, and I'm so happy to bring it to you finally. And very soon, which is July 7th, which is my other announcement. So, lining up our complete ecosystem at AMD for all gamers, brand new CPUs, brand new GPUs, you, in the back half of this year, can play all of your games with all of your settings turned up and enjoy a fantastic experience from AMD and the AMD group that is in charge of gaming. So I'm super excited about this. But there is one more thing you're going to get from us. And that next thing is we have a fantastic partnership with Microsoft. As you saw yesterday in the announcement they made yesterday, but we're also announcing today that when you buy a 5700 series GPU, you will be able to play Gears 5 and 100 other PC games, and you can also get that same bundle with select Ryzen CPUs. What do you think? Does that sound great? Very good. Now, I quickly went through some performance data, some new features, I talked to you about pricing and availability of the products, and a little bit about a game bundle you'll get when you purchase one of our products at day of launch. But there's an expert here, and there's a whole bunch of great games behind my segment, where you're going to see some brand new, for the first time ever, gameplay, and you're going to talk to the people helping us make sure that all of the features that we just described to you are implemented in the games. Some of these are the big names in the industry, and to help us do that, I'd like to bring on stage with me to introduce them, Jeff Keighley. Jeff?
How you doing? Hey, Scott.
Hey,
good to see you, man. This is exciting.
Yeah.
Wow, it's so great to have AMD here at E3. I gotta say, amazing price points, and you guys are just rocking it here.
Yeah, we're ready to go. I think the back half of this year is going to be all about AMD. There's no doubt about it.
Well, I mean, it's awesome to be in, the new PlayStation, Project Scarlet, Stadia, and then PC, which we're talking about today with all these great products. It's great to see, and I'm sure everyone's wondering about the content that's going to be powered by these devices, which is great. And it's a good thing it's E3 because it's time to look at games, I think, right?
Yeah, actually, we've been talking a lot about hardware,
Yeah.
but a lot of people here in the audience and watching on the stream probably just want to say, show me some new stuff.
Yep.
Let's show them some new stuff. What do you think?
We got some new stuff. I think we're going to take a look at some of the amazing games we're about to showcase for you guys. So awesome. Well, thanks, Scott.
That's great.
All right,
Thanks
see you
a lot.
soon. Take a look at
Appreciate
this.
it.
All right. You guys ready to see some games? All right, fantastic. We have an amazing lineup of developers to come out here and showcase some titles coming to PC. You got a little taste of it there, but first of all, I want to welcome to the stage from the Coalition, Rod Ferguson, studio head, and Mike Rayner, technical director. Come on out, guys. Rod, good to see you. What's happening? All right, another day, another press conference appearance, right?
Exactly, except the stage isn't going to open
Until E3 here. Tell us about this. It's a 3-player co-op mode, right?
That's correct. It's a 3-player, sort of an aggressive co-op mode. You plant a venom bomb in the heart of the hive, so this poison cloud is chasing you out, and you have to fight through all the monsters to get outside. And it's 3-player split screen as well as 3-player co-op, and we're supporting 3-player split screen on PC.
Okay.
So you'll be able to do that as well in your own home.
Now, Gears is a franchise that has always been known to me as a technical leader with what you do with Unreal Engine. I mean, the original Gears, 12, 13 years ago, I mean, it was just blowing people away of how visually beautiful, games can be. So tell us a bit about sort of, technology in Gears and Gears 5. I mean, tell us how are you pushing the limit?
Well, fortunately, I brought the right person for that with our tech director, Mike Rayner, who's doing all of that. So I'll let Mike talk to that.
All right, well, Mike, let's talk a bit about, Gears, Unreal, on the PC, because Gears 4 had a great PC version, mouse and keyboard support. People were very happy with that. Can you maybe talk a bit about the PC version of Gears 5, which is coming alongside Xbox in September? How are you sort of pushing it a little bit further on PC?
Well, being a visual showcase is at the top of our list as we're thinking of Gears 5. Not only do we have increased graphics and compute power, but we have all new shaders, new filters, new lighting technology, all rendered in HDR with 4K and ultra-wide resolutions. We've enabled a ton of options for players to customize the game for their gaming rig, and all of this really helps us to optimize for the PC gaming experience. We're really excited to push the hardware to its limits and deliver the best experience on AMD.
All right, well, that's great things to talk about, but let's see it now. We've got some of the first footage, I think, of Gears 5 PC. And tell us, maybe walk us through kind of what we're seeing here and what's unique about it, Mike.
Well, this scene really shows off our screen space subsurface scattering, high-quality depth of field with bokeh simulation, and temporal anti-aliasing. A scene like this in the past we would have often rendered offline as a video, but everything you're seeing here is rendered in real time on AMD's new hardware. The demo device is pushing Quad HD resolution, HDR, and high frame rates. But the screen here can't really resolve all of that.
One of the things we really want to push with Gears 5 is real-time cinematics. You know, as we talked, there's a time in the industry when it used to be gameplay looked one way and the cinematics were unbelievably beautiful. And then all of a sudden, a few years ago, the gameplay was in 4K, but the cinematics were in 1080. And you were like, what's going on? Like, I'm actually going to go back, get away from the cinematic. I want to get back into the game. And so with Gears 5, we wanted all the cinematics to be in 4K. We want the game and the cinematics to feel the same.
Really? So all real-time?
Everything's real-time now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Looks amazing, I gotta say. That's cool, because I mean, even all the stuff we were seeing yesterday, the fact that that's all real time is just incredible. Amazing. All right, so this is, you know, what's cool also is you're showing this on AMD, you know, powered technology here for PC, but as we know, AMD is inside the Xbox One S, the X, and as announced yesterday, Project Scarlet. So I was wondering, Mike, if you could kind of talk about, you know, the fact that there's AMD across all this. Does that allow you to sort of optimize across everything a little bit better?
Well, it's really fantastic for us because we have similar feature sets on both Xbox and PC. We can spend more time making the game and less time on siloed development where we're kind of focusing on one platform over the other. It allows us to spend more time polishing the game, and it looks great and performs fantastic on both platforms. You know, what's really great is having AMD hardware in both places really allows us to deliver on having the best experience no matter where players want to play it. There's also features like adaptive sync, which is on the PC, which is a really cool option for us now on the console, allowing us to deliver the same tear-free, seamless gaming experience.
And for the first time, like before with Gears of War, you had to make it, in the Gears 4 in particular, you had to make a choice. Do I want 4K or do I want 60 frames on the console? And now that's not, it's 4K and 60 frames. And then with PC, we even push it higher.
Well, on PC, we have completely uncapped frame rate, so it'll go as fast as your system can handle.
All right, well, that's what we like to hear. It looks absolutely incredible. Gears 5 PC coming out in September.
And just to be clear, like, so because of the bundle with the Game Pass, PC Game Pass on the cards, that's the way to get into our tech test in July. So everybody who gets the card, who gets PC Game Pass, can also play with us in July.
On PC, you'll be able to play in the tech test.
Absolutely.
All right, so July, that's coming soon. Sign up now. All right, Rod, thanks so much. Mike, great to see. Gears 5 from the Coalition, Xbox Game Studios. All right. That was pretty good, but we got more for you today because it's E3. Our next guest is a man who needs no introduction as executive producer at Gearbox Software. He and the team pioneered the looter-shooter genre, and they're aiming to shake it up again with the much-anticipated return of Borderlands 3. Take a look at this. Mayhem is coming. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage executive producer of Borderlands 3, Gearbox Software's Randy Pitchford. Randy? Good to see you. Pitchford in the house. All right, so Randy, Borderlands is the king of the looter-shooter genre, and the moment you announced Borderlands 3, it certainly became one of the most anticipated games of 2019, and now you're here at E3 on AMD's stage. AMD was with you at the reveal. Now you're here at AMD's stage at E3. Can you tell us a bit about how your team at Gearbox is taking advantage of the new Ryzen and Radeon technologies in the game?
Jeff, I am so excited to be here. I'm going to take out this moment to call out some cool tech features that usually we don't get attention for in a typical marketing for a game like ours. So if we look at the screens, I'll show you some of the cool things that gamers can expect in Borderlands 3.
Let's do it.
Now, one of the exciting things that we can do in Borderlands 3 is we can leave our home planet to visit another world. At one point, our adventure is going to take us here to Promethea. And you can see that Promethea is surrounded by an asteroid belt. This gives us a really cool opportunity to show off some pretty clever and awesome light simulation in Borderlands 3. In this time-lapse sequence, you can see how the asteroids flying by occlude light from Promethea's star, creating shadows across the surface. And as asteroids fly past, the light from the star will be able to peek back through, illuminating the environment with the light of day. As you can see how natural light and digital light interact, you can see how technology and creative design can work together to create an interesting fiction and a stunning image. Now back on Pandora, I want to show you some evidence of our investment into the future of display technology and how powerful hardware and software can unlock a new range of fidelity. For televisions and monitors that support it, high dynamic range provides for a greater spectrum of luminosity than we've ever experienced before. It allows for brighter brights, darker darks, and a range of color and light that is as close as we've ever come to simulating on screen what the human eye can actually detect in the real world. In order to help show off the HDR difference, we've simulated the effect here. Now without HDR, this is what the scene would normally look like. It's pretty nice, but this is the same scene in HDR, much more vibrant and alive. Do you see the difference? Well, look again. Back to standard, and now with HDR.
Cool.
One more time, standard and HDR. I hope it won't be long before all displays offer high dynamic range, but when Borderlands 3 launches on September 13th, technophiles like me with HDR screens are going to have very happy eyeballs. One more thing I want to show you guys. I'll take you somewhere new. This isn't Pandora or Promethea or Eden 6. This is Athenas. And we'll talk more about Athenas later, but I thought this is the perfect environment to talk about some of the great features possible with Borderlands 3 through our collaboration with AMD. We've been working with AMD to incorporate a technology suite called Fidelity FX. Fidelity FX is a collection of high-quality post-processes that we can use to make Borderlands 3 look even better without sacrificing performance at all. It takes advantage of the latest features of Radeon RX 5000 series GPUs to accelerate performance, including the use of rapid packed math. Now, just one example of how we're using Fidelity FX in Borderlands 3 is contrast adaptive sharpening. The dynamic sharpening filter draws out detail in these low contrast areas while improving image quality and clarity and maintaining steady frame rates. When designers, artists, and programmers at Gearbox Software work together with AMD engineers on Borderlands 3 to combine sophisticated technology with handcrafted, talent-driven art and design, the results are simply beautiful.
All right, that's a little sneak preview. Very exciting. Randy, I can tell the Borderlands team, has been working hard to get even more players to join the army of gamers who are big fans of the franchise, and it looks incredible.
Yeah, I am so excited to invite everybody here at E3 to join us during the show. We've got a massive Borderlands 3 booth, which is front and center in the main South Hall. There are over 100 AMD Ryzen and Radeon-powered game stations set up to give as many people as possible here at E3 the chance to go hands-on with Borderlands 3 before the game launches on all platforms on September 13th.
All right, very cool.
And this is just a taste of our collaboration with AMD. I'm pleased to announce that Gearbox and AMD Studios have signed a multi-year agreement so that we are kitted out with all of the latest hardware from AMD that we can use for development and testing of all of our Gearbox games. It's going to ensure that the best experience for games from Gearbox is on the best hardware, on AMD hardware for years to come.
All right, seems like a pretty strong partnership between AMD and Gearbox. We can't wait to check out the game during E3. And is there anything else that you want to share with us?
Well, I thought since they gave us a moment here, I'd also bring some never-before-seen gameplay footage. You guys want to check out something nobody's seen yet in Borderlands 3?
You guys are taking over E3. All right, what are we about to look at?
Okay, so we're at E3 going to let people play as a new Vault Hunter for the very first time. This is Mose. Let's roll the video and we can look at her. Now, she is a gunner character and she is a badass. Mose is right now my favorite new Vault Hunter in Borderlands 3. We're going to start by showing you a little bit of her skill tree. I think the people streaming at home will freeze frame this and look at all the details of all the stats, figure out how to min-max this character. But Mose is a mech pilot. She can get in this Titan that she calls Iron Bear. And she can kit out the Iron Bear with all kinds of cool augmentations, modifications, as she develops her skills in the game. Borderlands isn't just about shooting and collecting loot. It's also about leveling up and becoming more powerful. And with the Iron Bear, Mose can kit this creature out with all kinds of badass equipment. Flamethrowers, machine guns, rocket launchers, even badass fists. Here's the Iron Bear in action. We can see Mose using a configuration that we call bottomless mags, where by switching between her minigun and her flamethrower, she virtually never runs out of ammunition. and she can rock and kick ass. Hey, that was Flack mounting the Iron Bear. You can actually get a special augmentation so that your co-op buddies can jump in and mount your vehicle. So Moses is in the cockpit, and one of your friends, as Flack or any of the other characters, can jump in and use the turret. We just took out a big-ass effing dinosaur. It's pretty rad. A lot more gameplay coming up. Go to the floor and check it out yourselves.
Awesome. All right. Well, Borderlands 3 is here in full force, and we can't wait to play it in September. Thanks for being here, Randy.
I'm so psyched. Thanks, you guys. See you down at the floor. Cheers.
Awesome. Thanks, Randy. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Good to see you. All right. 2 big action games right there. And now we're going to move on to another great partner of AMD to give you kind of a preview of where technology is heading next. Let's talk about Unity and the Unity game engine, which has been incredibly important to a lot of developers. This company's engine powers remarkable games across PC, console, mobile, and the cloud. More than 2/3 of VR and AR experiences are made in Unity. Practically every gamer has enjoyed games built on this company's technology. From the world's most widely used real-time 3D platform, Unity Technologies, please welcome the Vice President of Graphics, Natalia Tatarchuk. Natalia, how are you? Great to see you. Welcome to E3. All right, well, you know, Unity is a driving force in so many of the games that people play today. You know, when I think of Unity, Pokemon Go, I remember Beat Saber, which I've been playing. Oculus Quest is incredible. We play Beat Saber. It's such a great game. And even Oddworld Soulstorm, Lauren Lanning, I had him on my show yesterday. You guys are, you know, a lot of developers turn to Unity to help them realize the visions for their games. Why do you think developers work with Unity?
Well, not every developer has the time, the resources, or frankly even desire to write their own engine. It's quite a complex task. And most importantly, they shouldn't have to. They've got a phenomenal vision for their project, be it a game or a real-time experience that they want to build, and they need the right tools to make it happen. And that's exactly where Unity comes in. We give teams of all sizes access to powerful and approachable technologies that make it possible for them to actualize their vision, to make it happen.
Absolutely. And you know, I know your team is very committed to solving hard problems for developers, making games look as great as possible. Can you tell us a bit about what's coming down the pipeline from Unity, a little sneak preview?
Definitely.
Okay.
My team lives and breathes every single day the goal of creating best-in-class graphics technology, performant, state-of-the-art visuals, as well as intuitive and great artistic workflows, because you need to create your content. And that's always our driving force in everything that we do. HDRP is the latest advanced graphics tech that's actually going to offer a massive jump in graphical realism on PC and consoles. What it has is advanced visuals with a fully unified physically based rendering, as well as amazing uncompromising GPU performance. And these are tailor-made for ambitious, high-end titles. Games that are going to be authored in HDRP are going to be able to achieve the high-fidelity, high-performance quality leap that players, frankly, are craving and expecting out of next-gen. It really unlocks the creativity of the vision holder to achieve a variety of looks, be it photorealistic like what you see here, to maybe Pixar-like or something very different.
Well, it's amazing to see how far game graphics have come. And you know, earlier Lisa talked a lot about hardware and how hardware is pushing games, you know, further on the GPU and CPU side. I'm curious, for your perspective, from a software engine point of view, what are your teams doing to kind of push, you know, games further?
So at Unity, the focus is always to push the overall graphics industry forward. And to do that, we start from where it all begins, with the creator. We want to give the creator the freedom to simulate reality, be it a forest or something else, and then let them take whatever path necessary, pun intended, to make it happen, to realize the vision. And AMD, of course, drives that on the hardware side by delivering the Ryzen and the Radeon technologies that give developers huge canvases to work with, the performance that they can run on those platforms. We're doing that on the software side by expanding what Unity can do. So, words are wonderful, but a picture is worth what?
Oh,
so many more words. So let's take a look.
Footage. I'm into that. All right.
Let's take a look at an example of what HDRP can deliver.
This is the place. Doesn't look like much. take a look. Yeah, got it.
So here, you are looking at a real-time experience called the Heretic that is rendered in real time in a 1440p and 30 FPS on consumer-grade system with a single GPU, something that you could easily walk into Best Buy, grab off the shelf, and bring it home. But each frame showcases the strength of HDR10 to its fullest. Now, Unity demo team relied on cinematic quality effects in HDR10 to make this vision come to life. State-of-the-art physical camera-based post-processing stack, advanced real-time area lights with full high-quality shadows, GPU-driven VFX to the max, unified PBR volumetrics, you see it throughout all of the demo. It's what makes it come to life. Complex materials, and so much more. I mean, the reality is I just don't have a time to fit all the features that we actually use to make this happen. And what it does is it's really serving to show the next-gen level of experiences the gamers will be able to achieve in Unity.
Wow, well, it looks phenomenal. This is a game I definitely would love to play. It's so beautiful.
Thank you. I actually can't wait for the expansion of this IP.
Yeah, very, very cool.
Now, this remarkable visual quality is only doable, first and foremost, because of efficient execution. Each of these features needs maximal performance. HDR10 is, of course, deeply optimized for latest generations of GPUs. This is including current latest shipping GPUs as well as available consoles. But we also worked closely with AMD to take advantage of the new GPU features for next-generation architectures. And one example of such effort is the ability to render higher resolutions with great upscaling performance and quality, which is built based on AMD's Fidelity FX algorithms. Now, upscaling seems simple, but great upscaling must be fast. It needs to be high quality. And what that means is you need to dial in just the right amount of sharpness without creating aliasing or artifacts in the final image. But you also want to preserve all of the soft gradients that are present in the original frame. We also have a fixed budget, so many milliseconds to spend on graphics and other things. And we can choose to do many great things. You saw all the features in a demo. And a great upscaler gives us a lot more room to do more. We worked very closely with AMD to integrate a highly optimized GPU-focused technique called contrast adaptive sharpening, or CAS, into Unity's latest post-processing stack in HDR10 to deliver, frankly, the best-in-class upscaler experience. Now, let's take a look. Here we're going to zoom in on a frame which was rendered originally in native 4K. And now we're going to compare this frame, the details in that eye, to a standard upscaler, something you'll see in a current game, the Catmull ROM filter. Blurry, not as sharp, loses details, a little low res. With CAS, the image is crisp, details, maintains the soft gradients that we actually want from the original frame. That is perfect. That's what we want. The CAS technique takes advantage of the NAVI's latest and greatest GPU functionality. You've heard about rapid packed math, progressive waves, to deliver faster performance with higher quality.
Rapid packed math.
Yes.
I'm into it. All right. It looks absolutely
the new slogan
beautiful.
of E3.
I was going to say, it's, whatever it is, it's absolutely incredible. I think a lot of people want to know, when is this going to be available? When are we going to get to play games that look like this?
The proof is always in the pudding.
Yeah.
It's true. So HDR10 itself is shipping production ready in 2019.3 this fall. This also will include AMD's CAS and an updated post-processing preview package for the V3 post-processing. Like Lisa said, the future of gaming is everywhere. And Unity is focused on enabling real-time experiences for all creators, no matter how ambitious their vision might be, with great visuals, amazing workflows, and incredible performance. And personally, I can't wait to see what the game developers will do with that power.
Yeah, it's awesome to get a glimpse of kind of where games are going to be in the future, because you look at that visually, I'm like, that's something I absolutely want to play. All right, Natasha, thank you so much for being here today. Unity, Natasha, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
All right, thanks so much, everybody. All right, well, next up, we have a guest that raced over from his press conference that just concluded, Ubisoft. Ubisoft has a long history of making some really incredible games, and it's my honor to introduce to you man who founded Ubisoft with his four brothers, Yves Guillemot, and also Nourdine Aboud from the team with Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Yves, how are you? Great to see you. How's everything? How are you? Nourdine, good to see you. You made it over in time. We were a little worried because you just got off stage, right?
That's right. Yes. We just finished our show, and we hope everyone will love our games, you in the room and you watching.
Oh, it's a great press conference. You guys might have been in line outside, but believe me, go watch it. Some really amazing content, as always. You guys have such great games. And I wanted to ask you, Yves, about the partnership with AMD. And maybe you could tell us a bit about, how you guys have collaborated in the past and moving forward.
Yes, actually, the teams at Ubisoft always want more powerful machines so that they can deliver on their creative vision. What AMD is bringing is incredible for us. And AMD is a great partner, so we have the same goal. Make great gaming experiences more accessible, whether you are playing on a console, on a PC, or in the cloud. So that's
awesome. Yes,
really
you're all aligned
fantastic.
around that vision. Yes, no, it's great. And again, the games that you're able to create, powered by this hardware are just incredible. And Nourdine, I want to talk a bit to you about Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Obviously, announced a few weeks ago, and more content here at E3 around this game. But I wanted to ask you a little bit about what you're bringing to E3. What can you tell us about Breakpoint now that the press conference is over, so all can be revealed?
Yes, Jeff. We wanted to give everyone a sneak peek of what we've been working on with AMD. And we wanted to show everyone how beautiful Ghost Recon Breakpoint is going to look. We are fine-tuning the game for the Radeon RX 5700 graphics so that the gamers on AMD get the best possible experience. And we're also tuning the game for the Ryzen 3000 processors. Today, we're going to share an exclusive first look at a part of the game.
Wow. All right. This looks incredible. So again, running on PC with all the new AMD technologies, it's pretty spectacular. All right. Well, we look forward to seeing much more on this game and taking people to sort of new places. Can you maybe talk about sort of the area that we're seeing and the content that we're seeing there?
Yes. So in the game, we are taking the gamers to a new and exciting playground called the Aurora Archipelago. It's the home of the tech giant Scale Technology. You will find out that the island has been taken over by a military group called the Wolves, led by an ex-brother-in-arms played by actor John Berental. The game has a huge scope and features a brand new set of gameplay mechanics. It's an intense military survival experience with fully customizable characters. So what do we see here? Here you see Fury, one of the many possible ghosts you can create, moving around on Aurora. That's our playground. As you can see, we are leveraging Radeon's ability to power asynchronous compute and special effects like dynamic vegetation, volumetric fog, and screen space reflection. As you can see, we are reaching new levels of realism. And Ghost Recon will only look better on the AMD FreeSync 2 HDR with a wide gamut of color and no stutter. Actually, we've been a strong partner of AMD's, and our teams are collaborating closely to make sure we are squeezing every last drop of performance out of the new Ryzen and Radeon hardware.
Wow. Well, the game looked incredible before, and now, I mean, looks even better. Seeing this new footage of it powered on PC like this is great to see. So, only gets better, as we always say, right? Every year. Congratulations, the team at Ubisoft. All right. Well, thank you very much, guys. I know Lisa's going to join us now back on stage as we wrap up this look at the future of games and technology.
Yves,
Lisa?
thank you so much for being here. You guys are just amazing.
Thank you very much for everything you bring.
Absolutely, Nourdine. I think Ghost Recon looks fantastic. Does it look fantastic?
Awesome. All right. Thank you very much. Yves, great to see you. Nourdine, great to see you.
Man,
Lisa, what a
Jeff,
show.
Oh, my goodness. It has been a great day.
It has been a great day.
It has really, really been great. And you know what we said about making sure that the developers really see what they can do with the technology. It's not just hardware for hardware's sake.
No.
It's really hardware, software, platforms, all of that. So
No, it's what I love about games is sort of, this idea of games being this blend of entertainment and technology, and the technology from a company like AMD helps all these folks realize their creative vision, push things even further. And I love that you gave us a little sneak preview of like what games are going to look like in the future on all these consoles, since you're pretty much powering everything now.
now you said that. Not
Hey,
me. Look, Jeff, you are incredible. I know this is such a busy week for you, so thank you for being here with us at the show.
I'm happy to be here, and before I go, I got something special for you, Lisa, because some of the fans, lots of people like to do, mods for PCs, but some of the fans love you so much that they made this, which is Lisa Su as a superhero. I wanted to give this to you on behalf of the fan community for AMD. They love you. Lisa, isn't she so amazing? Lisa Su.
Okay, this is a little bit embarrassing, Jeff. You may need to take this with you.
Okay, I'll take this backstage with me. Lisa, stage is yours. Thanks, everyone. Have a great E3.
I don't think I've ever had a little figure before. I don't know about that. Look, we love E3. It's been so much fun to talk about pushing the limits of hardware and software. What do you guys think? I hope what you see is that you can really accomplish amazing things when you put the best minds in hardware and the best minds in software and the best minds in the ecosystem working together. So today was really about bringing all of those capabilities together and pushing the envelope in high-performance gaming. Now, we covered a lot of ground, but I always like to save a surprise, or two, maybe. Are you ready for a surprise or two? Okay, well, hey, look, are you guys excited about the 5700 XT and the 5700? Are those great GPUs? And guess what? I have one more GPU for you today. All right, my friends. This is a very special GPU, and it's in honor of our 50th anniversary this year. This is the 50th anniversary edition Radeon 5700 XT. Now, is this incredibly gorgeous? Okay, now, I know it looks pretty, but you also want to know what the specs of this card are, don't you? And this card is the best of the best. The highest performer of the 5700 series at 40 compute engines and a boost clock of 1.98 gigahertz. Now, we are super excited about this special edition, and it's going to be available exclusively on AMD.com at a price of $499. Okay, guys, but I have two kids, right? We have our GPUs and our CPUs. So if we had an extra GPU, we have to be fair, right? And we also have to have an extra CPU. So, I know you guys have all been wondering what is the best of Ryzen. So earlier, you saw the 3900X, and was that just an amazing CPU? And now I'm happy to say yes. AMD is not only pushing gaming beyond 8 cores. We are not only pushing gaming to 12 cores, but I am so proud to introduce today, for the very, very first time here at E3, meet the world's first 16-core gaming processor. This is the 3950X, okay? This is the best of the best. It's 16 cores, 32 threads, the highest boost frequency in our stack with a boost up to 4.7 gigahertz. an amazing 72 megabytes of total cache. All of this at 105 watts. Incredible performance, incredible power, the best of the best, and you can expect to see Ryzen 9 3950X for gamers around the world this September for $749. So, look, we love to have fun at AMD, so we took this guy for a spin over the weekend here at E3. Take a look at some records being broken.
Today we're going to be trying to break several world records with the new Ryzen 3rd generation 3950X. We're going to be using liquid nitrogen, cooling the part way down, and seeing what we can do.
So we just dropped the temperature down. We're going to try to modulate it here in a certain range. We've set the BIOS for the CPU voltage, and we're going to do everything else in Ryzen Master. So we're going to set 5.3. I think Ahmed already clicked the button.
Yep.
Okay, so...
We're at the right frequency.
Okay, go.
It's running.
Was that great or what? All right, look, we have had so much fun this afternoon, but now I really do need to wrap up. So I hope you get a feeling of how excited we are. We are so proud of our upcoming Ryzen 3000 CPUs and Radeon 5700 GPUs. You know, together, they are just an amazing platform for gamers. And what I said is we want to put the best technology in every gamer's hands. And so when you put these products together, we have a leadership PC platform for every one of you out there. Leadership at every price point. That's our commitment, giving gamers the best everywhere. And we can't wait to get these products in your hands. The entire lineup will be available on shelf worldwide July 7th. We hope you have a phenomenal summer building and gaming on Ryzen and Radeon. Thank you.